Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Masters of CX, our exclusive interview series where we delve into the minds behind groundbreaking brands providing exceptional CX. Today, we have the privilege of hosting a special guest, Mr. Founder and CEO of SportsBaazi, a leading name in the fantasy sports arena. Saurabh, it's fantastic to have you with us to discuss innovation, user experience, and trust in the world of fantasy sports today. Welcome to the Masters of CX.
Thank you, Jasvi. I'm honored to be a part of this. Very happy to interact.
So let's start from the very foundation of your platform. Actually, fantasy sports is a domain where excitement actually meets strategy, and trust, of course, is paramount. So, how
Hmm.
does SportsBaazi approach this unique intersection, specifically in winning and maintaining the trust of your consumers in an industry where competition and fair play are critical? So, yeah, over to you.
Yeah, you've touched a lot of facets of gaming in that. We've talked about strategy meeting entertainment, and then eventually building trust. I'll touch upon both.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. About how you equate strategy and entertainment. I think fantasy sports industry and the experiences that have been building around it have focused on that. I think that is where the magic has happened over the last decade, less than a decade, to be honest, where this sector has risen in terms of user experience. Following your favorite sports, historically has always been entertaining enough anyway, right? If you watch your favorite game of football, you want your favorite game of cricket, kabaddi, or you follow your favorite athlete or a team, the fans go gaga about it already.
Mm.
What this another meta sports experience of gaming?
Mhm.
I say meta because it's a virtual experience that is built on top, of the physical sport that's already happening in the real world. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is that this has done is that it has added that layer of strategy
Mhm.
in entertainment for all the consumers out there. Right? It's not just about being able to say, right, that I know the game. I can prove it, through my skills.
Mhm.
Barring the financial aspects of it, there's always entertainment. You win, you lose, you're entertained 100%. On that premise, when we started SportsBaazi,
Yeah.
uh, we entered in a market which was already, beginning to become competitive, so to speak. Already players who were building the popular fantasy format, which has been the team fantasy format in India, wherein
Mhm.
you build a team of players, you draft a team, and then you go against opponents and you see which who has drafted a better team. And from there on, when we saw early growth, uh, we ventured into building the future of sports gaming. We realized that in a very hyper competitive environment, how do you stand out? How do you build an experience, provide an experience to people out there, uh, which is not seen around? Yeah. At the end of the day, that is all what all entertainment is about. Uh, so that is where we went back to the drawing board, evaluated how do we, bring more entertainment, in the life of the customers, of the fans out there. And we did very thorough research.
Yeah.
I like to point out many times to, whenever I do media interactions that, we're less of a gaming company and we are more of a gaming research company.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because we've, in the last, especially in the last 1.5 years, out of 5 or 6 years of journey, we've focused on building, subject matter experts. uh, we've focused on building a product and engineering team that is focused on game theories, engages the today's Gen Z. Yeah.
Yeah.
In one of our researches, we found that in the very popular team fantasy format, people draft their teams, enter contests, and right after the first ball is bowled, or of the ball after the first kick in a football match, there's nothing much to do in life of a sports gamer. Either, I don't know if you play yourself or not, but if you've played fantasy enough, you know what I'm talking about. uh, and a lot of our feedbacks from our core groups came in that, okay, we definitely, there's much more to the skill gaming universe, that
Right.
can be done.
Of course.
So, we came out with this strategy where we wanted to build, the best spectator gaming experience there is. And we coined a new category of games, which we call watch and play category,
Okay.
wherein while you're watching, your favorite sports fixture, you are constantly engaged. You're presented with stats, real-time stats of your favorite athletes, your favorite teams, and you draft a combination of stats just like you draft a combination of players,
Hmm.
and the combination of stats, whether that's true or false, defines whether your skill, is highly quotient or lowly, while you're watching the game. So, we launched this about a year ago, a little more than a year ago, and the traction that we've had is phenomenal. you know uh, the growth that we've posted recently, we posted about, around 75-80% growth in our uniques, and our revenues aligned with that. And that has been largely built on this first phase of the new experience that we've been trying to give to the fans out there. So that's how the first facet I talked about, how that's how we have enhanced strategy in the entertainment space.
Okay.
And on the other side, you've talked about trust,
Yeah.
right? Trust is a very, very important pillar,
Of course.
uh, in our space. Uh, how do you verify that, whether the game is fair? How do you verify that this is a platform, that's responsible? Whether I'm, especially with my money, right? People are using their, disposable income to get entertained on a platform, and the thrill is whether you win, you lose at the end of the day. So on the both the aspects, SportsBaazi has evolved a lot. We are, I think, I would like to believe that we are, amongst the most responsible, gaming companies. On that lines, we are one of the few platforms out there that allows, a user to set a inactivity period. Right? If I've played enough and I want to take a break, I can just tell the app that I want to take a break, and then you can't activate it,
Okay.
for the stipulated period of time. Right? We've been bold enough to do that. I think I think we're probably the only one, or one of the few ones in the space who are doing this, and we're trying to take it forward. The right KYC processes, to in order to create a secure environment, is the other way of doing it. And in the core gaming experience, if you have transparency,
Yeah.
that once I've entered a tournament, right, everybody is at par. That transparency has been inherently built in the product
Mhm.
for users to find trust on the platform.
Yeah, and on that note, I will come back and ask you about these sports related events. But first, can you also tell me about all those complex legal and regulatory environments and challenges? How does it impact your user base, or do you have that kind of trust already built in among the users?
I think, we have been blessed, uh, with very loyal
Right.
players. If you see the track record of SportsBaazi, we've not been very deeply funded, in our journey. We did raise Series A, back in 2019, but post that we chose to stay, bootstrapped. After that, uh, because, like I said, we've talked about, in the first question, where, how we've been continually building a product market fit, trying to re-identify the experience that we were building, posting growth while doing that, right? A company which is trying to still find its product market fit, and while doing so, posting growth. I feel that has been done on the back of a very loyal user base that have, backed us to the T, in good and bad times both. uh, you know this The last 1 year has been complicated in terms of the legal environment. uh, I wouldn't say there's no impact on the platform and the people. Obviously it does impact. It has been a concerning time, not for us, I think for the whole industry.
Yeah.
How the new the new business dynamics, how the new GST
Hmm.
regime impacts business dynamics, and other regulations around it. And but we've also seen a lot of optimism,
Hmm.
right? With our numbers and users embracing platform, we've been able to steer through those challenges, right? And While I think there's more to do, there's much more to do, optimize business as per the new reality.
Yeah.
Uh, but I think we are very well on track,
Mhm.
and user experience is not being compromised.
Okay. And if I shift my gaze back to capitalizing on major sports events, so are there any specific strategies in place to leverage these events to boost user engagement and acquisition?
Yeah, absolutely. I think events like IPL, World Cup,
Yeah.
are the areas where these are the periods where you go out there and talk about yourself, with your fans, with your customers or potential customers. That's where your our marketing teams, branding teams, are on their toes. There's a lot of hard work that has gone probably throughout the year. Eventually, comes out, during these events, wherein you get to see, you know, how people are responding to your product and service. Branding campaigns, are in full swing for the upcoming IPL. The
Mhm.
preparations are ongoing, and that's how it's been. So our strategy is always, to talk about what we are building, right? If you look at SportsBaazi's, communications campaigns, especially fairly recently, we talk less about, okay, you can win this much, or with this much money and stuff like that. While that is also important, at the end of the day, there are aspirational users out there who love to get entertained when they see big prize pools, so on and so forth.
Mhm.
But we've always focused on the selling the innovative experience that we've built, which stands out.
Mhm.
That how you can engage, in strategy spectator games on SportsBaazi, before the match, throughout the match, and stay engaged and have fun. So we've always focused on selling that to a user. I think that also helps us stand out.
Okay, and on that note, like it seems like a very thoughtful approach to user engagement. So, but when it comes to community building, can community building it can be a significant part in enhancing user experience. So, could you discuss any community engagement initiatives or events that you have organized to foster a sense of community amongst your users?
Absolutely, 100%. We believe in communities as a platform, uh, not offline as much as online.
Mhm.
We are a completely digital platform, and we even focus on building community experiences digital as well. If you do open SportsBaazi, you will see the app trying to connect you to different communities
Yeah.
of gamers and fans out there. We are a platform where, if you're a sports fan and you like to watch, an India versus Australia match, you can come on the app, play team fantasy, play stats fantasy that I've talked about, play stocks fantasy, the stocks game, wherein, just like stock markets, you can make a portfolio of players and go long or go short on them,
Mhm.
right? These are just different innovative experiences that we've been building. So what we've also done in parallel is build communities, for each of these game labels,
Mhm.
where people who love to play, a particular format, meet more people
Hmm.
who play that format on SportsBaazi. And we also make our users as our moderators who contribute to the communities, right?
Okay.
So I think we're building a nice ecosystem. There are interesting ideas that we have in our minds for times to come. And if the question is that communities is a part of our strategy, definitely yes.
Okay. Quite interesting though. And if I say, like, sort of what ways now, if we talk about, we have spoken about user engagement and everything, but if we talk about something which is going in the background, so in what ways is SportsBaazi pushing the envelope in terms of technological innovations, either in your app to enhance the fantasy sports experience for your users, or any personalization or retention strategies?
Yeah, so there's a lot that is happening on that ground. I mean, I wish you were, we had our chief engineering also along with me in the interview, maybe someday,
Yeah.
uh, in terms of core technology, because the experiences that we're building are, heavy on the engineering architectures.
Mhm.
Uh, you know, the average time spent on the app for a SportsBaazi user is amongst the highest in the gaming space, right? You
I
know,
need to quote some numbers there.
uh, uh, you know, uh, the average time spent. I'll quote you a number. The average time spent on SportsBaazi 2 years ago versus today,
Yeah.
right? About 18 to 20 months ago, our average time spent on the app was about 17 to 18 minutes a day, right? This has gone to about 47 minutes a day,
Oh,
right? So real around a 2.5x increase.
that's a paradigm shift. Yeah.
This is a testament of the experience that we have built, right? Where people are spending more time on the app. It's also a function of the games that we've designed, wherein the game asks the user to be active, more active throughout the sporting fixture, so to speak. And so it's a byproduct of that. And since this is a product where average time spend is high, it is also requires engineering architectures that support that kind of traffic on the app, right? Uh, Rather than having about a concurrency of about 25, 30,000 people, now we look at concurrencies of about 90,000 to 1 lakh people on the product, right? And who are consistently active on the app. So this requires to be able to build user experience and technology to be on top, never a downtime on the app.
Interesting. So it's clear that user satisfaction is in extreme priority for you. But like before wrapping up, could you also shed some light on the key metrics SportsBaazi uses to measure customer satisfaction, and how have these metrics influenced your customer experience strategies?
So, okay, one of our North Star matrices that we follow is D30 retention rates, wherein if 100 people came on the app today to play for the first time, whether they paid for free or with money, that's secondary. We see how many of them are continuing to play 30 days after also. For us, it's a very one of the most primary gauges to understand uh, how many people are choosing to stay back organically on the app, what built on whatever experience you've being given to the user. uh, so like I said, I've been talking about us a couple of years before and now, right? Because we have re-identified our product and service in many ways. So even the D30 retention rates have gone from about 21% to 26%.
Okay.
It's a big jump, right? So that says about 25% more users choosing to stay back on the app as compared to before. Uh, I think it's a testament also of improved user experience. It's a gauge for us, right? Having said that, this is more like a North Star metric. There are many other things that we do. We're talking to our users, talking to our power users, different cohorts.
Okay.
through surveys, reaching out to them on communities, to community managers, reach out to a lot of users, understand, take feedbacks, what are users happy about, what are users hating,
Mhm.
and slowly building upon that
Okay.
to qualitatively improve the experience.
And how you're handling these user queries and concerns effectively?
Communities, you've talked about communities earlier on, right?
Yeah.
Communities, one of the byproducts that we get is that we get uh, you know seamless feedbacks.
Mhm.
So, sometimes running a community is a two-edged sword. you know uh, they'll they'll hate you when something is not right. They'll sit on your head, and if things are good, you'll see them cheering you. All the users together, talking to each other, getting into banters,
Mhm.
sometimes bashing SportsBaazi for something that's not right. So, but like I said, it's a double-edged sword, but it also becomes a beautiful pipeline
Mhm.
to stay connected to your loyal user base. About at the end of the day, if there's more hate than love, it's
Mhm.
truth. You've got to solve that problem. If
Yeah.
you're not hearing hate, how will you solve that problem at the end of the day? So communities, there are more things. I mean, there are support player relations teams. Although they're more about more formal support, where users reach out through emails and chat boxes about some operational issues if they've had on the product, or some queries that they would have had. In terms of feedbacks about our experience, we
Mhm.
use communities a lot.
Okay, and can you just give an example of a change that was actually made based on some user suggestions or your community?
There's so many. I mean, there's so
Some
many.
like would do.
Uh, we recently we recently added a new feature on the app, uh, where a user is required to uh, take a call on whether they want to back a stat or they don't want to back a stat,
As
right? Right. Now users were not liking a lot of terminologies. Rather than using a terminology like "I've joined a contest," they would want to use a terminology like "We've invested in the contest."
okay.
Now this is a very small change,
Mhm.
right? In terms of engineering a product, you're just changing a text. But in the eyes of a user, this was a power user who was talking to us, right? He said that, we look at sports gaming as a place where we spend a lot of time, we've used a lot of skills to drive entertainment, and also, drive rewards out of it, right? So we wouldn't want to have very casual terms being thrown at us. They look at sports gaming as if, if I'm spending time on the stocks market, I'm not doing that. I'm going to play a game of poker, or I'm going to play a game of stats. The users, the core users, this is like the top 5% core power users, right? They look at the platform like that.
You want to
They don't
capitalize.
want the platform to be, at least that's true for us. I mean, it could be different for different platforms, to be honest. There are platforms who are Ludo and whatnot, right? It could be the different personas
Mhm.
playing on different platforms. Our personas are very serious gamers, right? Who are, like I said, spending a lot of time on the app. And they look at this platform as a source of validation of their skill,
Mhm.
and also a source of rewards.
Okay. That's really very interesting, actually. And I guess that's it. Thank you so much, Saurabh, for the insights today. It was lovely listening to you and knowing all about fantasy sports.
Thank you. Honor is all mine, Ojasvi, and looking forward.